All chicks here. Hey, what's up? We got a problem, Toothpick? I said, do we have a problem? Huh? Oh, we got a problem, partner. Right here. Here's your right there. Right there. All right. Yeah. All right. Play a little game, baby. Right here. I said, do we have a problem? Huh? Oh, USSR. Now you better get your stank asses up out of here before I cause a nuclear holocaust up in here, fool. Let's go, let's go. Oh, come on now. Fool, it'll be Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Hi, Shalom. I can first and foremost want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakha Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teaches word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And yeah, as you see, I just played that brief clip. Pretty much that just summarized that those missiles is going to be the end all be all for these devils, man. See, that's what the Lord have chosen the fate of these devils, man. And that's going to be by the way of this thermonuclear war, you know, because that was the very same thing that brought this man into power, you know. This is going to be the very same thing to take him out of power, man. Because one of the things that the prophets always prophesied of was against those kingdoms where it was going to go down by the way of war. Matter of fact, let's get that. This is Jeremiah 28 and 8. It said, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. See? And guess what? The prophets is not coming out of their own understanding. It wasn't just because, you know, Isaiah was salty that day. He prophesied against Babylon of Jeremiah. No, this is actually the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. And the common thread is that these great kingdoms was gonna go down by the will of war, evil, and pestilence. And the icing on the cake is war, man. You know, this is how this place is gonna pretty much meet its demise, man. You know, when the Lord's torching this bitch by the way of the famine, you know, the pestilence. You know, you got infighting by the way of the civil war. You got race wars, food wars. You know, you got the newly created beast that's going to wreak havoc here. But ultimately, this thermonuclear war, you know, those missiles is what's going to take this man out, man. You know? So, matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. And that's how war was played out in the ancient world. You know, you had swords, you had shields, a helmet, you know. And it said it will confuse noise because you hear swords, hitting shields. You might hear bone cracklings, you know, men crying out, you know, by the way of the war cry, or they being struck, you know, smitten, you know. And that's why I said garments rolled in blood, because there was a more up close type of battle, man. But it also said, but, meaning what? But this battle, this war, shall be with burning and fuel of fire. See? And that's pretty much the end all be all this devil. And that's one Slakia. This is how he's going to be taken out. This is how he got into power by the way of war. You know, wreaking havoc throughout the planet Earth by the way of his military. Well, this is how this man is going to be overthrown, man. You know? And just going back off that brief clip, you see it started off with the pistols, then the rocket launcher, then the missiles. And that's how it was with this devil. This man had revolutionized the sword, man. You know, like I said, you had literal swords back then. Then it got to the point they started having musket guns, you know. Then it kind of upgraded to the damn the Gatling guns, you know. Ultimately, it became even the scripture Revelation 9 touched on it. You know, by the way, these fighter jets. You know, you had these devil got these different tanks. You know, all the way up now till he got the thermonuclear missile. But guess what? That's the thing that's gonna overthrow him. Matter of fact, this is Joel 18, and bear with me. This is the book of Joel 18, and in verse 10 it says, "The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap is set for him in the way." And that snare in the ground is these silos, man. You know, because those that's the snare, man. The very same thing that you using to bully the planet Earth, you know, to keep a leg up on the people. Guess what? Now it's being turned against you now. You know, you brought that weapon in. You introduced that weapon to the world. You know, by the way of you bombing these gooks. You know, by the way of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know, that's how this man got. He fully got a grip on the planet Earth. That's when that joy, that hypocrite began once he bombed these gooks. Then the Fabulous 50s came in. But that joy was ended by the way of Russia getting that in the the so-called ingredients to make these missiles, man. Now everybody else, they got some type of power, you know. Here they got nuclear capability now. So it said the snare is laid for him in the ground with these silos. It said a trap, and a trap for him is in the way. See, so that snare, by the way of those missiles, is for these devils, man. You know, that's matter of fact. That's what that discretion. That's what discretion is really for, man. You know, and you're gonna have jakes that clinged on to this system. You know, and laid in bed with this devil. They're gonna be a part of that as well. That's why I said whoever shall be found shall be thrust through as well, man. Join that tongue are gonna be thrust through. You know, so this is Revelation chapter 9 and in verse 15. It said, and the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of man. See, and the four angels as holding back the four winds. That the wind of destruction, man, is by the way of this nuclear war, man. You know, because that's the end all be all these devils, man. They is the sword, so it's very fitting they get taken out by it. You know, that's why our Lord Yahweh Shai said you if you take up the sword, you pretty much gonna die by the sword. And Esau himself embodies the sword. He embodies destruction. So how fitting would it be for this man to be taken out in that same manner, man? You know? That's why I said it's set up to slay the third part of man, Esau Edom, in this last installment of this devil, man. That's what his discretion is set for. That's why I said this battle is gonna be with burning and fuel of fire, man. You know? Matter of fact. And these is this all the workers of Yahweh by Hashem outside. This is actually the Lord's weapon, man. You know, it's not of this devil, you know, that as it was of his own that did this. No, it was the Lord that set up this, man. It was the Lord that put in these scientists' mind, you know, to come up with something, learn how to split an animal and create a weapon of mass destruction. That's why I said he is the Lord's sword. You know, the Lord Yahweh Hashem outside, you know, set up this man for a particular reason on the planet Earth to take peace from the earth. So he gotta be well equipped for that. And the Lord have equipped him for it, man. But now we're in a time where this man is about to be overthrown, you know, by the very same thing that brought him into power. So this is this Jeremiah 50 and in verse 25, it says the Lord have opened his armory, see, and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. See, this is the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. It said power of hosts. So this is war talk. This verse right. This is straight war talk, man. You know, this is the work of the Lord, and it said in the land of the Chaldeans, meaning what here in America, man. You know, this is the work that the Lord. The Lord got his name all over this, man. You know, when you see this whole land get laid out, is you gonna know it was a higher power, you know, by the way of those missiles coming in a certain fashion. They coming in a certain area of attack. They ain't gonna bump into each other. And then you gonna have the chariot shooting laser beams, tearing shit up. You gonna know this is the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the power of hosts. It's in the land of the Chaldeans. But the point is what he had his armory. You know, these are his weapons. You know, this is the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And you got some niggas that might say, you know, why the Lord didn't do it by a volcano or by a damn lightning, a tsunami. No, the Lord is all about justice as well, man. You know, because dealing with these other kingdoms, they got in the power by the way of war. It was never a smooth transition with these kingdoms. Even within Babylon, when Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar, when they was taken down, it was a surgical strike. You know, but overall, all these other kingdoms came up by the way of war, and they all fell through by the way of war. So it's gonna be same thing by the way of America, man. This not gonna be somehow, some way. We just gonna come up. You still got the devil here. You still got America here. It was just a smoother transition to the Israelites. No, this is gonna be a hard transition, and what's gonna stamp that is by the way of America being overthrown violently, man. But the point is, the Lord is all about justice, man. So the very same thing the man came into power that's going to bring him out of power. Because them bombs they dropped on the goop ain't nothing compared to what they got now. You know? But that's all the spirit of the Lord. So this Proverb 26 and 27, it said, whoso dig of a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. See? And what was those stones? Those, you read that in Revelations. I believe that's the 16th chapter. It tells you about those hailstones. That's talking about the warheads that's gonna be falling upon this place. Those stones are gonna be turned upon you now, man. You know, the Lord now you see now everything is prepared for this man destruction, man. You know, they coming out these newer missiles by the way of the hypersonic missile. They can get over even all the way from Russia. The missiles can get over here in 30 minutes. You know, and going back to that clip again, you see what was stamped on that missile, USSR, man. Even though they're not going to be the only ones, you know, shooting missiles, but they're going to be spearheading that, man. You know, they're going to be spearheading that, man. So it was very fitting that missile had the USSR on it, because that's why it's the feet of it is the bear, man. It's going to be by the way of those Russians that this whole beast system, because it ain't like Russia gonna profit off this. Them Edomites too, they're gonna catch it as well. But you take the feet out, the whole body gonna fall, man. You know? So I'm gonna end off on this. That's the book of Psalms, chapter 7. And I started at 11. It said, the Most High judgeth the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. It said, if he turn not, he will wet his sword. He have bent his bow and made it ready, see? So it said, if he turn not, if this devil don't repent, guess what? He's wetting his sword. And you see the sword being wet. When you wet a sword, you sharpening it. And that's why over time, you know, those missiles became more powerful, more efficient, man. You know, they can go longer, they can reach longer. You don't have to fly over a country to drop it. You can actually put it in the ground in a silo, put on these different military vehicles or in a submarine, you know, and shoot them from everywhere you want, from wherever to wherever, man. You know, so this sword is being sharpened on all levels. Those missiles, like I said, is becoming more powerful and more efficient. You know, it said he had bent his bow and made it ready, and you see everything now is being ready. You see by the way of this chip, this devil trying to promote this chip, you know, Cause it's what 2 prophets left. This tilt getting mandated and this destruction, man. And we see it all coincide. Close to this devil trying to get you to get this Maxine. Ultimately, time for you to get this chill. And you see, war talk. On the other side of the world. Sanctions being thrown on Russia. I mean, Turkey, I believe. You got Iran being teased. So now everything is being made ready, man. Everything is ripened now. He said he had also prepared for him the instruments of death. See, what's the instruments of death? These missiles. He said he ordained his arrows against the prosecutors. See, his arrows. See, these are the Lord's weapons, man. This the why I say he's the Lord of hosts. That means he's the Lord of the armies, man. You got the heavenly hosts, you got the angels, the Israelites, that's the arm of the Lord. And just these other nations and their military, that's the arm of the Lord, you know. But also, when you deal with an army, what's their ultimate weapon? You got one last hoorah. What's the step? Those missiles. That's why you deal with like America and their military talk. The last resort is DEFCON 1, which is shoot the missiles, man. You know? So that's what we had. We had DEFCON 1 with this thing. The Lord is about to overthrow that man by the way of these arrows, man. This is the fate of the devil, man, by the way of those missiles being shot here in America and throughout the planet Earth, but especially here in America, man. This is what is going to be totally desolate. It tells you wholly desolate. This whole land is going to be desolate, man. You know? So yeah, I just hope that we edify. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Sharaka Kodash. Double honors to the Apostle Elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, to the elect that teach the word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. DTA, Abba, Abba.